everyone, it's Jasper here again with your weekly sound design tutorial, and today I'm going to go in a little bit of a different direction and show you guys a vocal processing technique that I discovered in the past week and I am really excited about. So without any ado, let's get right into it. This vocal processing technique is going to use Melodyne. It's a little bit of an expensive plugin, but it really is the best for getting really transparent tunings with your vocals. So if you're willing to shell out a little bit of money and put in a little bit of time, would highly recommend getting this plugin. But vocal tuning is not the only thing that it can do. The way that this works is it does an algorithm called the fast Fourier transform on your source material. And what this allows you to do is not only adjust the tunings of your vocals, but it also allows you to adjust the harmonic profile of the material. And that's what we're going to do today. So here I have the vocals from my song Lost Cause with Anthony Reed. If you haven't heard it yet, I'll put a link to it in the description, but here's what the vocals sound like, pretty unaffected.
So tell me what you see when I'm shy, it's hide and seek.
So they're pretty dry and pretty dark right now, and that's because Anthony he's a bass, and so he has a pretty dark voice, and so in the actual song, I did some processing to kind of brighten up Anthony's voice and get it to cut through the mix. And I did that with the use of such tools as multiband compression like OTT, EQing, and lots of saturation. But I'm going to show you a little known Melodyne trick that will actually allow you to bypass all of that and do it much faster. So there's a section in Melodyne called the sound editor section. And I didn't learn about this section until very recently. But what it allows you to do is, as I mentioned, adjust the harmonic profile of the material. So let me play it in Melodyne. I hope you can get a little bit of an idea of what we're working with here. So here's the sound.
So tell me what you see when I'm...
And below here, this decreasing ramp shows the harmonics in Anthony's voice. And what this allows us to do is to tweak the individual harmonics. So let's do that a little bit and we can get a feel of what this does.
So tell me what you see when I'm shy, it's hide and seek, safe and sound and
this is the fundamental, and this is the first octave harmonic.
No one gets to...
And what this allows us to do is by adjusting the contour button down here, you can automatically snap the harmonics to basically the decreasing harmonic series. So basically we're kind of forcing the source material to follow the harmonic series of a sawtooth wave, which is used in music for a lot of different reasons, but one of those is the fact that the harmonics in the saw wave kind of descend like this and follow a nice progression, which is has a really pleasing sound. So what this sounds like now is this.
So tell me what you see.
It's definitely darker, but we can adjust the brightness to make up for that.
You see when I'm shy, it's hide and seek, safe and sound and never found.
And you can tell right away that the harmonic profile of Anthony's voice is a lot closer to what you'd expect from a modern vocal chain. Let me bypass it and show you what this sounds like with and without the processing.
So tell me what you see when I'm shy, it's hide and seek, safe and sound.
So it really tends to brighten up the sound. You can use this in a lot of ways, but you can really use it to brighten up the sound and get it to sit well in a mix. Let me show you what this looks like with a spectrum analyzer. So again, without it, it's going to look a lot darker and there's going to be less mid-range.
So tell me what
you can tell that the third harmonic actually is going above the fundamental from time to time. The first three harmonics are really prominent and then it kind of drops off.
Tell me.
And that's what you might expect from somebody with a really dark voice like Anthony. But with this on...
So tell me what you see when...
We'll notice that the mid harmonics are really brought out, and the first couple of harmonics follow a lot more of a slight downwards progression like you would expect from a saw wave. Just for reference, let's see what a saw wave looks like if you haven't seen the spectrum analyzer already. So here's operator, And here's a spectrum analyzer, and here's what the saw looks like. So you notice that the harmonics go down just a little bit each time, and that's the fact that all of the harmonics are there, but decreasing a little bit from the fundamental is really one of the reasons that people like the sound of sawtooths and why they're so ubiquitous in electronic music. So you can tweak that a little bit. The harmonics is really the main thing. There's also these modes where you can adjust the harmonics in the high and low registers. I don't think this affects the sound as much, but you can definitely explore using those. And then also you can try EQing. Basically has an auto EQ feature where it can even out the EQ. So this is what this sounds like.
So tell me what you see when I'm shy. It's hide and seek, safe and sound and never.
So I don't like the sound of that as much. It basically is just EQing it so that everything is even. And this really doesn't sound as good as, to my ear, as just doing the FFT on the source material and adjusting the individual harmonics. It's certainly much more of a next level thing to be able to adjust the harmonics individually. There's one final mode here that I think is pretty cool. You can re-synthesize some of the sound, basically creating a saw wave with the harmonics that exist and kind of bringing those to kind of fill in the material a little bit. So this might sound good with vocals in moderation. Here's what it sounds like taking it up gradually.
So tell me what you see when I'm shy.
You can kind of hear it here.
And seek, safe and never.
And at the point where we turn it all the way up, it basically just becomes a saw wave with the pitches that Anthony is singing. Could be an interesting effect. Would suggest experimenting with it. That's all I have for you today. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, I would ask that you consider subscribing. And thanks a lot, and I'll see you next week.